Adrian, the recovered type 2 diabetic. Actually, the name of this channel is the T2 Diabetes Brotherhood. So, welcome, my brothers. I can't stay away. I've told myself I wasn't going to film anymore for a while, but I just can't. I don't know. It's one of my favorite parts of the day, I think. It just feels like a good outlet. And, well, before I push on, today's day 548, type 2 diabetes free, June 21st, 2025. And, I feel like I could come on here every day and just talk about what it's like to be free of type 2 diabetes and just kind of give some tips and stuff like that. Like this past Thursday, I had a wedding to go to. My nephew got married and they had a bunch of vegan food, a bunch of carbs. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. I ate salad, which is fine. I'm not like full blown against veganism or anything. It's just not the grains and stuff like that aren't for me. I just find like they spike my blood sugar, and I thought that would be interesting stuff to kind of talk to you guys. But the big observation I had was um, eating the salad, which was actually kind of good. I think it was like spinach. I avoided all the croutons. I used a ranch dressing. There was like spinach, arugula, which I don't mind every once in a while, like some arugula and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it was mostly just this big salad, and there was like this artichoke heart salad thing with tomatoes and cheese in it. I ate that. Blood sugars were actually pretty good, pretty fine, and I ended up stopping at In-N-Out cheeseburger, In-N-Out burger joint, and I got myself. I pretty much invented something. I think it's like basically pup patties, which are just basically a burger that you can get without salt or oil on it for your dogs. So they call them pup patties. So I got two of those for buns. Then I ended up getting a Flying Dutchman. So they have two different varieties of the Dutchman. It's basically two burgers with cheese and then grilled onions on both sides. The grilled onions are supposed to be the buns, and that's pretty much it. Then there's another one that's got two cheeseburgers with cheese and then two tomatoes as buns. So I got those two, put them on top of each other, then use the pups as buns. Freaking like it's an animal style. I don't know what. It's very filling. Now it was probably, I think me and my daughter, I got her just a protein style double cheeseburger. That means that it's got no bun. Everything that a regular burger would have, but a bun. And I always get grilled onions instead of regular onions on it, or sometimes both. And we also got a large um, soda, and In-N-Out Burger actually has a stevia monk fruit sweetener lemonade that's to die for. And yeah, I ate that before I went and I was perfectly fine. I was just kind of hungry and bored, I guess. The party was going on. Of course, there was pastries and cake and everything at a wedding, alcohol, free alcohol. And I'm just watching everybody drink and some of the followers I have on this channel and my other channel, Adrian the Diabetic, are telling me that, if I start drinking, I'm probably going to start drinking again. You're going to be eating sugar and all that kind of stuff. And, the big observation was that I didn't really have much of a hankering, there was nothing really compelling me to drink alcohol. So, like, I brought a couple of diet sodas, but I didn't even really touch those during the wedding. I just drank basically water with lemon. And, I don't know what's up with me. I think I've just made that decision. Like, I made a short video on finding your why, and amputations. I think I made a long video here too. I can't remember. I think it was probably one of the last ones that I did. But my why is I don't want to lose parts of my body. I don't want to go blind. I don't want to be on dialysis. Uh, I'm on a new high, a new trip. And it's just, I don't know. I guess I have nobody to talk to on this, and I don't think anybody really understands. But when you stop eating all that food and you beat type 2 diabetes, you find yourself just sitting around like, well, now what? Right? Well, now what the fuck do I do? And I just been into pretty much just like cooking. What's some stuff I can do to help other people? Because I know the majority of people are going to want sweets. They're going to want, like for instance, today I made mint chocolate candies. I made them out of coconut oil and some stevia, monk fruit sweetener, peppermint oil, some cocoa powder, stuff like that. And I ate them. I tested them. They didn't spike my blood sugar and stuff. So I'm like testing out a bunch of foods to help. people, because I understand that the majority are not going to do what I've done. They don't have this mentality. But yeah, I'm here to say, like, I've made up my mind, I guess. Like, I could be in front of people eating cake, drinking alcohol, no problem. My new thing is bulking up. Like, I lost over 50 pounds, like, well, just under 50 pounds. I think I'm a buck 85 now. And I felt like I shrunk a little bit. So I'm trying to put on, like, my arms. I'm trying to build up some muscle. I don't have huge muscle, but I'm starting to get really toned and defined here. And, normally I don't do this. I'm not large. There's nothing really to show off here. But I'm like bulking up my muscle, trying to build up my chest, my shoulders, and everything, my traps, um, my wings over here. I've heard, is this wings? No, these are your traps. These are your traps. These are your wings. I forget what they call this muscle, but I'm trying to just bulk up just a little bit. Not nothing too crazy. I'm not looking to get all like veiny, crazy buff. I'm just looking to get a little bit of meat on myself to look just a little bit better, but not necessarily for looks. Mainly, I just want to have enough muscle just in case as I get older, they say your muscles start to atrophy, you start to shrink a little bit. So to keep up the strength that I have and also a little bit of more muscle mass. And muscle mass also, like a tip for you guys I want to weave in here right now, is that you got to think of your muscles like a sponge. So whenever you're eating even high amounts of proteins, guys, like proteins take a longer to convert to sugars, but they convert to sugars. If you're not using them, they're going to stack up. So you can't just eat protein and have a sedentary life and think that, oh, well, I'm just doing proteins and fats and everything will be fine. You still got to drive your vehicle around town. But the more muscle you have, you can figure like a dirty mess on the ground, right? If you have one sponge and you drop a glass of water, put that sponge in there, it just immediately saturates. Whereas if you had about maybe 10 sponges, you can pick up the whole pile, right? It all kind of distributes through. So it has more mass to soak up the fluid. It's the same thing with your muscles soaking up the sugars in your body. So it doesn't mean that it magically disappears. It just has more space for it to soak up. And when I think about it, like right now, I'm like, well, do you really need more sponge if you're not, if you're exercising and burning it all up? Why do you need more sponge? I guess I would think, though, is that the more muscle mass you have, and the more day-to-day life you go, the sugar gets dispersed. This is hypothetically speaking. And guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you are a type 2 diabetic, you should consult the doctor. But my thoughts are with the little bit of extra muscle is that whatever little bits of sugars you have, it kind of has more of a dispersal. So if you are a gangly, skinny guy like myself, and you do happen to accumulate a lots of sugar, say fruits and stuff like that, which I do eat on occasion, then it doesn't have much places to go, so it can spike your insulin a little bit more, if that makes sense, right? So the more muscle mass you have, and in the future too, like as you get older, if you're losing muscle mass and you are eating proteins and fruits and stuff like that, any kind of carbohydrates, and your muscles are shrinking, that means that there's less surface area, less sponges for that sugar to go to where it can accumulate and cause problems, right? So your blood is more dense, like the sugar has nowhere to go, right? Yeah, think of it like a storage unit, right? Like your storage units are shrinking, and any kind of excess sugar that you have or anything you're not using has nowhere to go. So it's going to build up, right, in this small space. You want your storage area to be larger. So that's the case with that. And yeah, um, I think there's like so much I think that you guys would love to hear about. Like I'm kind of like a problem solving person. Like I don't have a life. Like I live off grid. I'm a single dad. Um, they say not to talk about personal life, but uh, once I separated, I have my special needs daughter full time. She's almost 18, still in diapers and stuff, guys. So I own a roofing company. I make these videos. I'm always trying to solve problems and like refine my life. Like every moment of my life is filled. I'm squeaking against this wall over here. So I find myself like today just doing so much shit where I almost was losing my mind. Where I'm like, God, I need a break, right? Because I'm working from sun up to sundown, and the time of filming this is almost like 7:30. I still got to wash my daughter, take a shower, and all that stuff. But I start accumulating things and start noticing because I have nothing else fucking better to do. Like I said, I don't have a life. But what I've noticed is like a little tip I could give you guys today is I make food videos on Adrian the recovered diabetic channel. It's another YouTube channel here, as I was saying, and one of the things I made today was shredded chicken for enchiladas. And so pressure cooking, which is a really awesome thing, you could do one pot meals and stuff like that. Why is this significant? Because today I threw in frozen, mind you. You don't have to thaw it out, which is really awesome. Like for me, meal planning, like it just dawned on me today. I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot, right? I could just throw the frozen chicken in there and cook it literally in 12 minutes, right? Hands off. So I don't have to thaw my chicken in the refrigerator for 2, 3 days to get it ready to cook a meal, right? For all my videos and meal planning and prepping and all that. Literally just go grab it frozen, throw it in there 12 minutes. Well, as it preheats and all that, probably a good 25 minutes, 30 minutes before it's completely done. But yeah, I shredded the chicken up using a power mixer. But instead of just cooking one thing, I also made shredded beef. So I went and got my chuck roast, which by the way, I'll give you guys another tip. Now, I don't have this on chicken, but I definitely have it on beef. As I buy like a 25-pound roast of chuck roast and I get it for like half price. Like I think it was ridiculous, like $5 a pound instead of like 10. So I think it's like half off. Like it's cheap. I don't know. I'd go to Costco basically and just ask for the big, instead of the stuff pre-cut in the styrofoam wedges with the saran wrap and little steak diaper underneath it. Get the big ass thing and just chunk it up into pieces you want and basically stick it on a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. Each chunk, make sure they don't touch, they're frozen. And then you can stick them all, once they're frozen solid, they come off the parchment paper, put them in a Ziploc bag. They could be touching at this point, and then you can just pull a block off, right? Like I like to do about a pound, pound and a half blocks. So today I did probably about 3 pounds. I grabbed two of the blocks. And again, same thing. They could be frozen solid. Just throw them in the pressure cooker. And I forgot to mention, just like the chicken breasts that I cooked, throw them in the pressure cooker on a rack so they're just a little bit raised above the bottom. Throw in about a cup of water, put on the lid, and push play and forget it. So the chicken took like 12 minutes on high pressure cooking. The beef now takes a little bit longer because it gets more dense of the meat. That had to go on for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I usually do mine for about 2 hours. So I did that for about 2 hours and 5 minutes. And guys, hands off, and then just pull it out. Same thing. Grab the tongs, drop it in the bowl. Use a power blender. Blend everything all up. Shredded beef. So now I've got shredded beef. I got shredded chicken, all stacked up. My enchiladas are already done. That's going to be dinner for when I intermittent fast for 24 hours on Monday. I've got the chicken casserole already pre-made. And here's another little trick is I get my, I know I'm all over the place. I get all excited when I do these things, but get your chicken casserole or your shredded beef. And I have these 1 gallon Ziploc bags. You can buy them bulk on Amazon for super cheap. I think in the future I may have deals for you guys where I can get you guys discounts, but load up your Ziploc bag with like the enchiladas like I did, lay it down on the counter and make a little flat log, like a log on the bottom. Zip your Ziploc about halfway shut and then start rolling the log. It pushes all the air out. And right before you get right to the end, just keep your finger on it and zip it shut. And then you got this perfect roll. I did that with my shredded beef and my chicken. Then put it in the fridge. It doesn't take up much space. There's not a lot of oxygen in there. And it'll keep a lot better, right? You don't want it to taste funky. But yeah, so Monday now, here today is Saturday when I'm filming this. I got a bunch of my chores done. So I've got the meal prep done because I think that's where, well, let me finish, I guess. So now on Monday, I've been fucking this thing up over and over again. I keep planning dinners and I'm like, shit, that's right. I'm planning every Monday to do a 24-hour fast. And then I de-thawed stuff and I'm like, shit, now what? I put it back in the freezer. If you screw up, it's no big deal. I can just eat that food on Monday and then do a 24-hour fast on Tuesday. No problem. But I just try to like to get some order of things and get a little more organized. But now on Monday, when I come home from work, all I have to do is take out that chicken out of the fridge, which is only going to be 2.5 days old, and put it in the air fryer, crisp it all up for baby girl, for the boss baby, I like to call her, my daughter. And she's got dinner, right? And then I don't have to taste test and stuff like that. I already have something made. Guys, I make everything just about from scratch. So if I'm intermittent fasting for 24 hours was another downfall. I was like, well, shit, you got to make sure you taste the sauce so it's got enough salt or sweetness or tart, whatever. And I'm like, shit, I'm not supposed to eat. So I got everything all set up like that. So really nice. The shredded beef too. I'm going to have probably my chaka, which is shredded beef, onions, bell peppers and eggs with cheese in the morning, maybe some salsa on it and an avocado. So breakfast is all done. Dinner tomorrow night, I can literally do some low carb tortillas, which I haven't. This is the first time in over a year and a half I've had a tortilla. They're like 3 carbs per tortilla too, so I'm interested to see what it's going to do to my blood sugar. It's loaded with chemicals too. I don't fucking know why I'm doing this shit. I do it for the show, but it's basically going to be probably a 3-day pulled shredded beef experiment where we just do different shit with it. So, point being though is that that's the downfall. I think is when you don't plan and you fail. Right, you end up going to the eating out or something. You know, spending more money than maybe you don't have, or you just don't follow your regimented diet. Maybe you go ahead and end up eating some shitty food. So planning, it's not that hard. You can do it. What's up, baby girl? Hi, I'm almost done with my video. So, yeah, a little bit of planning goes a long way. That way you don't fall off the map. Can you turn that down a little bit, baby, or go outside, please? Do you have to go pee-pee or no? Yeah, I got some snuggling. So I don't know. I better go. I've got some snuggling I got to do with my daughter. Yeah, guys, I don't know. My life's different. I've successfully, I don't know, made that decision. The biggest thing I wanted to share today is like I have no drive to go drinking alcohol again. I have no drive to eating sugary cake shit. I have more drive to, well, let me leave you with this real quick before I go. I sort of have caught myself acting kind of like a vegan, meaning that, and I have nothing against vegans, but I just notice a lot of them, like they'll just say it for no reason, right? Like kind of like a vegan, but you know, you're like, hey, what's up? You just meet somebody. You're like, hey, what's up, Jane? And they're like, hi, my name's Jane. I'm a vegan. You're like, uh, okay, I'm Adrian, and I'm a ancestral diet person, right? Is there anything else we want to talk about diet for any weird reason, right? And it wasn't quite like that though. But everybody was asking me. You know, my family. We spent the night out in Los Angeles, and they're like, hey, we're gonna go get some pizza, whatever. Some, you know, you want some meatballs and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Meatballs have, you know, breadcrumbs and carbs basically in them. They're not just meat. And I was trying to think like, what the hell could I get from an Italian place? And they're, you know, they're driving to go pick it up, and I want to be a pain in the ass. Like, oh, you know what? I'll just have a protein shake or something. And they're like, well, you can, you know, oh, that's right. You're on a special diet, right? And I found myself explaining, yeah, I don't want to eat the bread, that, you know, the carbs and all this kind. I don't eat that clown food stuff. And I was like, oh shit, right? It just came out because that's what I think. I look and I'm like, you know, people are overweight and I could, you know, I don't know. So I just should have kept my mouth shut and just been like, yeah, no, I don't really eat that. I'm on a special diet. Ended at that. I had to explain myself, right? I was like, why I don't eat carbs and all this. And I just felt like I had some sort of like messiah complex or some shit. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's not do that anymore. But it's just so weird. Like once you've changed your lifestyle, you know, you're up against the differentiation of normal human behavior, and you just got to learn to just keep everything quiet, keep it simple. You know, one of the followers that I've had said that they beat type 2 diabetes, and when they get asked, you know, if they get offered like cake or something, they use the diabetes thing. Even though they don't have it, they reverse it. They're like, oh, I'm diabetic, I can't have that. I was like, oh, they're like, I keep it in my back pocket. So you make it simple, right? So if you're at a restaurant or something and you want to make sure that you get something without sugar, you say, oh, excuse me, I'm a severe, you know, I have diabetes. I can't have sugar. Is there any drinks that you have that don't have sugar, or food or whatever it is, just to make sure? Even then, you probably can't trust it, but you can use that card even after you reverse type 2 diabetes. Just claim diabetic, right? So yeah, I don't know. Guys, that's I kind of like doing these things. Um I don't know if you guys want to do me to go live. Let me know if you guys want me to do a live one, the video. But I've got to go. I got to get back with baby girl and make sure I get some time with her. And hopefully this kind of stuff helps you guys out and it's of interest. I don't know. If it is, it really helps me out. If you guys like, better to comment and tell me what you guys want to hear. Because I don't even know if I'm being any relevancy or anything like that. Some of you have commented you don't want to see me showing my blood sugar results with my continuous glucose monitor. You know, for those of you, if you are new here, I measure every single day, 5-minute intervals while I sleep, 24/7. I have blood sugar results of what's going on with my body at all times. And I guess some of you don't find that of interest. I thought it would be perfect for, you know, um, for data, for proof, if I'm allowed to even say that on YouTube here, like that I kind of am who I say I am. I've done what I've done. I have blood labs and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, if you guys want to see that stuff, I don't know. Let me know. I'm just happy to share, and it really makes my day when I get messages from people saying that, hey, my A1C went from 14.5 down to 7.2 because of you. Like, I'm inspired to get my shit going. And I'm like, yeah, that's what pumps me up. So anyways, I'm babbling. I better go. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.